A day in the life of me.
Hey guys, what's up? I know it's been super long since I have done any kind of vlogging. Actually kind of like a year, to be honest. And like what a year it's been. Thanks, oops, glad you agree. So I thought I would just do a quick video, shoot you guys up to speed at all the cool things that I have been up to over the last year, including moving house. This is now a new house, so I have to take you guys for a house tour. But basically the last video that I posted, I think, was July last year, maybe, or August. Anyway, so I'm super sorry for being so slack. I actually really enjoy the editing side of the whole vlogging experience, except yeah, the past year has just been a bit crazy, and I know that that's no excuse, but yeah, I don't know, it just got away from me, and now I'm ready to get back to things and release some cool content for all my subscribers, aka the kids that I teach at Reds. Big shout out to Rhythm Edge. Anyway, so last year basically was huge. In July I went to Thailand with my mum, my brother, for another stint with Peppa Pig, which was amazing. We went to this beautiful place called Koh Lak, which I don't know if anyone has been there before, but it was hit really badly during the tsunami, and so we got to go on a few tours that some of these people actually knew people that were really affected with the tsunami, and it was pretty surreal and pretty what's the word, like eerie to go back to these places that were really hit. And there's a walk in Koh Lak, which I'll show you guys in a second, that basically because it was on Boxing Day, there was so many tourists over there enjoying this beautiful part of the world, and unfortunately they were there during the tsunami and a lot of them lost their lives. So there's this beautiful walk that's paying tribute to them and to all the Thai people actually as well. They're paying tribute to everyone, so I thought that was really beautiful, and to be there and witness it with my mum was really special. And then yeah, my little brother, that's not so little, he came along too and got to watch the show finally, so they got to see me in all my glory as Hayley. So that was really cool. So I vlogged a little bit of that, but you know, due to the fact that I'm super slack, like I just said. You right there, dude? Sorry, my dog just like sounded like he's gonna cough up a verbal. I don't even know if dogs do that. Do dogs do that? Anyway, yeah, so that was amazing in July. And then what month comes after that? August, I went to Manila, which was cool. I feel like Manila was a really full circle moment for me, because that was actually the last time that we performed the Peppa Pig touring show, and that was the last time that I would appear as Hayley in the show. So back when this all started, I don't know if any of you have watched my previous vlog about how I got to be touring with Peppa, but basically I started my first contract with MEI was in Manila for a 6-week stint back, I think it was 5 years ago, yeah. So it was really full circle and it was really cool, and it was just a really nice homage to my journey with Hayley and growing as a performer and growing as a person, getting to see all these amazing places that I'm so thankful and grateful for all the opportunities that Hayley gave to me. So yeah, Manila was really special. We only got to be there for 5 days. As some of you know, my stints overseas were quite quick. Like, you'd kind of fly in, do the job and fly out. There wasn't much wriggle room for anything else. I was just really lucky with Thailand. It kind of teed up with school holidays. So the first week of school holidays I spent in Koh Lak. The second little bit of the second week, I met up with the cast and was in Bangkok for the show. So that was really lucky, but most of the other stints we just kind of flew in, did the job and flew out. So yeah, it was kind of really cool to go back to Manila. I personally love Manila. If anyone hasn't been, I would suggest going. The people there are so beautiful. Like, when I was first there for my first 6 weeks, I was a bit worried because I was, you know, this little blonde white girl, big eyes, because big eyes? Are they big? I just had never really been traveling overseas by myself, is what I'm trying to say. So I was a little bit worried, but there's absolutely nothing to worry about. Even in Manila, one time when I was over there for another show, had an earthquake, which was kind of crazy. I've never been in an earthquake before. I actually slept through it, so technically I don't even know what an earthquake feels like still to this day, but thankfully, because I think it's pretty scary. So then in September, I had the amazing opportunity to tour my home country, Australia, with the Glenn Miller Orchestra. And for those of you that don't know, the Glenn Miller Orchestra is absolutely superb. The musicians and the music, and if you love old big band music, then you would absolutely love Glenn Miller. Me, myself, I absolutely froth off that kind of music, and there's just such an innocence and elegance about the era of this music. It's like right when big band was massive, so you'd have like a 30-piece orchestra. You'd have, you know, your trumpets, your sax, all your different types of saxophones. I didn't even know there was just an army helicopter. Just wait for that to pass. I can't even do a helicopter sound. Oh, that was pretty good. No. Okay, it's gone now. That felt like it went on forever. I was like, anytime now. Anyway, so yeah, in September, October, I got to tour with the Glenn Miller Orchestra, and that was just amazing because it's this big band, all the trumpets, the horns, the piano, the double bass, the alto sax, the saxophone, oh, you name it, trombones, you know, it was there. And it's spectacular to dance in front of a live orchestra. I feel like as a performer, you grow up most of the time dancing to tracks or, you know, dancing to pre-recorded music. Of course, we can't have the luxury of having a full-piece orchestra at every dance class we ever take, but to actually dance in front of this amazing orchestra was just incredible. I got to see some amazing places in Australia, and I'm super grateful for all the people that I met on that tour. The guys were just amazing. So most of the guys are actually from the States, because the Glenn Miller Orchestra obviously is, well, he originated in the States, so all of his musicians and the people that have the rights to his music and the rights to touring it and everything like that, they all are still in the States. So I think it's really cool that they all kind of stick together as a group. Like some of the musicians that played together had been playing together in the same ensemble for, you know, 15 years. Like, that's incredible, and the amount of musical knowledge that they have is just absolutely ridiculous. Like, these are guys that can play, and girls. Oh my god, this tour we had girls, which was amazing. We had 3 ladies and they were just absolutely amazing. And as I said, their musical knowledge, like, these are people that can play 5 different instruments, and not just how I would say, oh yeah, I can play that, I can dabble, but I can play a C chord, right? That's, to me, that's not very good. But these guys are like, okay, I'm playing the alto sax, the normal sax. Is that a thing? They'll probably watch this and go, you're an idiot. We tried to educate you, Natasha. But yeah, my friend Brett, absolutely amazing. He's jumping onto the piano at warm up. He's playing 5, I think he said he plays something ridiculous, like 12 different instruments. Like, that to me just so clever and so talented, and it was absolutely an honor to tour with these guys. We also had some Australian musicians in there as well, and I feel like just the bond that we created over this 6-week tour around Australia was just epic. I still chat to most of the guys, and yeah, I think they're just one of those things that's going to be like lifelong friends, which it's really cool that in our business you can be from all different walks of life, but something as simple as music or dance or performing or live entertainment brings us all together, and I think that's really cool. So yeah, I got to do that in September, October. I'll flick out some videos and some pictures that I have of that and all the cool places that we went to. I actually did vlog 90% of that journey, except I have a frog in my throat, except my amazing, beautiful, lovely boyfriend decided that he wanted to upgrade his, not Minn Kota, his hummingbird, his like little GPS thing that he has on the boat. Yeah, I know, I'm terrible with that stuff. And he used my memory card from my GoPro, thinking that, you know, that's okay, not remembering that he had a memory card that came with the device, and he corrupted all my files. So everything that I've logged, from going home at Christmas to Glen Miller to being in Thailand to my birthday last year, basically just got wiped out in one fell swoop. That's okay, we're all human. To err is human, as they say. I definitely was not impressed about it at the time, I can tell you that. But hey, it's all right, it's all good. I've still got some pictures from my phone and from Instagram, so happy days, it's all good. In the grand scheme of things, if that's the worst thing that happened to me last year, I'm doing pretty good. And then obviously we had Christmas, and that was massive. We went home for Christmas back to Bundaberg, which is like a 12-hour drive for us from Townsville. We camped all along the way, so we stopped at our favorite place in Bowen, and then we stopped at, I don't even know, oh, we stopped at Bocasia, which I actually didn't really like it, to be honest. It's just north of Mackay, and I thought it was going to be this beautiful place, but it was just kind of overgrown. The camp area itself was right on the beach, which was really nice, so we just walked onto the beach every morning and night, which was actually really beautiful. But the camp area itself I wasn't so impressed with, but you get that, that's okay. And then we stopped at this amazing place just 40 minutes north of Bundaberg called Winfield, which has like no electricity. You're basically just in your swag. Hopefully you have some kind of gas stove or something and some kind of lighting, because otherwise, you know, you're not going to be able to survive there. But they have like their own portaloos, because we still don't have like a situation for a toilet. If we're to go out bush, I don't want to be potentially stepping on a snake's head as I'm squatting. Like, that could be quite dangerous. But anyway, so it was awesome. They have these portaloos that you can hire, and you're right on this beautiful creek. I think it's Baffle Creek, right near Agnes, that we go on to. And there was like 3 people on the entire property, and it was just really cool. The dogs loved it, we loved it, the fishing out the front was great, the people that owned it were really lovely. So yeah, we stayed a couple days there. And then what's happened this year? January I got to go down to Adelaide and dance with the Ignite Summer School. I had such a ball in Adelaide. I love Adelaide, except it's supposed to be summer, and when I went there, I went from beautiful Townsville where it's like 36 ridiculous degrees, and then I went to Adelaide, who's in summer as well, and it was like 16 degrees. I was like, sorry, I didn't bring a jumper. I thought it was summer. Anyway, that was fine. And then COVID. Oh my God, how crazy. And to think that this time last year, I was actually in Wuhan, where it all originated from. Like, that to me, when it all started coming out, just, I could not believe it. And I couldn't be more thankful that this year I didn't have anything overseas kind of lined up, because that just would have been an absolute shit show. And I just feel so much for all my performer friends at the moment, because yeah, everything is just so uncertain. But I zoomed my way through COVID and got to work with all my kids on a regular basis, so that definitely kept me sane. And also kind of a blessing in disguise, because I don't know if you haven't watched my 3 previous vlogs, like I'm actually a vlogger, or actually good at it. Basically, Paul and I never really spend a great deal of time together. We're always missing each other. Like, last year was massive for us because I would go away, then he would be home, and when I got home the day off, he would go away. So it was great for our fur kids because they never really went without us, but terrible for us. And even if we just have normal life, I teach until super late, and then I don't get home until probably about 10:30. Paul's already in bed because he gets up at, you know, sometimes 5 a.m. the next day. And I leave for work at 1 p.m. the following day he gets home at 3. So we were just always constantly missing each other. So I think over COVID was probably the longest amount of time we have ever spent together since we've been dating. And that's almost 4 years. Like, that's pretty crazy that it took a global pandemic to get us to actually spend a good solid 5-6 weeks together. Bizarre. I don't even know how to, well, I think last year we calculated it and it was like we spent 6 weeks together the whole total of last year. Not consecutively, 6 weeks just in general, like 2 days here, maybe a week here if we were lucky. And that's not to say that, you know, that for us is not a big deal because we both know we've got to do our own things. But yeah, it was actually really nice in COVID just to be in each other's company, and we got to move into our new house basically as lockdown was happening the weekend before it all came about. We moved house to a beautiful new place. I've got a pool, I've got a big backyard, it's not a duplex, so I will have to take you guys on the house tour. And yeah, I think you guys are pretty much up to date. How weird is that? A whole year. I know. It's bizarre, and I'm so sorry. Not that like 70 of you probably really cared, but I definitely know my kids at teaching, especially my ballet class, my grade 2 or 3 ballet class that are like avid watchers, were like, when's your next clip? When's your next clip? Clip, not lip. I think they got sick of asking me, so they just kind of canned it for a while, and then out of the blue one would just say it again, and yeah. Anyway, so I'm sorry for being so slack and not putting up at least something, but I'm gonna try and do better because yeah, I actually really enjoy this. Even though sitting in front of a camera staring down a barrel is something that quite intimidates me, I want to practice what I preach, and I'm always telling my kids to just give everything a go and to try your hardest and do your best because, you know, that's all we can do. And I've got to say, some of the people that my boyfriend watches on YouTube, I know I can do that too. So I'm like, why wasn't I just doing it? I don't know. Maybe because sometimes I'm like, oh, if they have real chats or whatever, I'm not funny, or I don't edit it enough, or oh, I'm just a perfectionist. So at the end of the day, I'm like, nah, not good enough, not gonna put up, or oh, I don't have time to film it and no one really wants to see that. So anyway, that's kind of everyone up to date. Hope you guys enjoyed my little recap, my yearly recap. It's almost DJ's birthday. What's the date? The 9th. His birthday is tomorrow, which is the 10th, so that's exciting. And then my birthday, which I'm gonna vlog the whole thing because I'm so excited about it this year. My birthday is next week. I don't want to say how old I am, but she's getting up there. She's getting up there. Anyway, I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your week. For me, I'm off today because I'm in school holidays, but I have some amazing privates and amazing workshops over the next couple of days before we start back on next Monday, back to normal life. Thank God. That'll be great. Thanks COVID for giving us a little silver lining gem to get back to work ASAP. And I will catch you guys soon. All right, bye.